guys? 6:43 a.m. Saturday, February 28th. Got a 6-mile long run on the trail today. It's supposed to rain like around 7 or 8 a.m. So that should be interesting. Don't know how much I'm gonna be able to film, but try to get some footage out there so you guys can see it. For the pre-run fuel, we got 2 pieces of sourdough toast, peanut butter spread on top, and we got a bottle of water with 1 scoop of electrolytes, 1 scoop of carb, and gonna schwack some honey on top. This is definitely the best part. Give me that. So I made it to the trail, but guys, what the heck is this, dude? Purple cactus is like... Alright, made it to the trailhead. Let's get this 6 miles done.
Lap 2, 9:34.
Alright guys, halfway through. Feeling pretty good so far. Let's finish this thing off. Alright, we just freaking did it. 6 miles. Completed 57 minutes, 9:34 pace. So pretty dang solid. Heart rate was in a pretty good place too, in the 150s. That's pretty good for me. So yeah, honestly the whole run felt really good. The only problem, my left ankle was like had a little bit of a tweak, a little bit of a niggle in it. Probably some residual stuff from the marathon that I did a couple weeks back. But overall, like, felt super strong, super good. Surprisingly, did not rain, so that's a win for me. I was freaking afraid my phone was gonna get wet and die on me, but we're chilling now. So let's head back home, shower, clean up, and we'll get into the rest of this video. What is up, guys? Thank you for tuning in to my first installment of Alex Runs. Welcome to the YouTube channel. For this first video, kind of wanted to go through where I came from, how I got into running, what started me into running, from the very beginning all the way to where I'm at now, and kind of just talk about the journey of the fact that everyone has to start somewhere. You got to start from the ground level and work your way up if you want to be successful in anything. And so, yeah. So getting into it, try to include a picture like here or here. But basically, before I was ever running, doing anything like that, there was a period of time, a very long time ago, when I was a kid. Basically, my parents, they got divorced, and following that, everybody was super bummed, depressed. And as a kid, I gained a lot of weight back then. Anyways, so during that time, gained a lot of weight. Definitely was getting like bullied quite a bit at school. And then it got to the point where I was like, I just tired of showing up looking like that. And so when I would see my dad every other weekend, he would hear me complaining about it. And at a certain point, I came up to him and I was like, can I join you on a run? Like, I think, as a kid, like, I wanted to kind of be like him. And I was just kind of tired of the way that I looked. And that choice changed everything going forward. I remember when I started, I believe I was at least 60 to 70 pounds overweight. And when I started, I couldn't even finish a quarter mile without having to stop. Granted, I was a kid and I was probably being over dramatic, but it was seriously like the hardest thing to start, especially when your start line is way all the way back because you're carrying so much extra weight. And it was not a fun experience. Like when I say like everybody starts somewhere, like seriously, everybody starts somewhere. Like, and running is such a classic example of that. I feel like with running, like, it's so easy to do it one time and just never want to do it again because it's just such a non-enjoyable experience. But I can tell you and I can assure you that, like, being consistent with it for multiple years in a row now, it is very life-altering if you are consistent and if you let it become that. If you just if you're super inconsistent, you don't stick with it, you'll never get to see, you never get to reap the rewards, you never get to see the benefits of it. But yeah, that's where my journey started as a kid. Couldn't even run a quarter of a mile in our local park. And, I was lucky that I had my dad with me. He never gave up on me. And every single weekend we would go and we would try again and again. And I was able to go a little bit further, a little bit further, and a little bit further. And this was like way before there was like, smartphones and things like that. So it was just purely running based on feel and however far I felt my body could go. And once I got to the point where I could actually like complete like a quarter mile, then it was just going up from there. And being a younger kid as well probably helped, but over time I started seeing the weight just shed off, and of course I was growing as well, so I had to account for that. But yeah, I mean, it was really truly a beautiful experience, like going through all that, like just starting out so much self-doubt that I could even do it and just feeling like absolute shit, to going to being able to run a quarter mile and then a mile, and then eventually by the time I stopped running consistently as a kid, I got up to 5 miles total. And I thought I was like on top of the world. I thought I was like, like super ahead for my age. And I probably was a little bit. But after that, wasn't really consistent, but I was always active. I was biking, surfing, doing all different kinds of things. Not consistent with running at all. And then really when I started getting consistent with running again was in college. But at that point, it was purely from like a performance perspective, like just running purely so I could, be able to like dive into the books more and be able to like pass tests and all those things. So yeah, I guess you guys probably don't know what degree I have, but I have a degree in mechanical engineering, and so as you probably know, like it's an insane amount of work to get to that point where you finally graduate. And so running at that point for me was just purely like for like to get my brain to the right place so I could study for longer. And with during that time I was maybe running 2 to 3 times a week, 1 to 3 miles each time. But I say like where my real like endurance running journey started was when I got my internship in Seattle, Washington, for Blue Origin. So when I was there was 2 other people there that were super into running. One of the kids there was younger than me, like I think he was like 22, something 23, and he already done a full Ironman and went to Ironman like World Championships or whatever. Crazy kid. And then the other guy was training for a marathon, but had run half marathons before. And so being surrounded by like that kind of energy, I was like, yeah, why not? Like, let me just like see if I could do a half marathon. So I started like just picked off like whatever random training plan I could find online and started following that. And it was the same thing as when I was a kid. It was like a slow but like sure like journey. Like you start, okay, I can do, at that time it's like 3-4 miles, and then I would just slowly work my way up from there. And being like in Washington, like in the fall, like the weather was awesome, so I was able to like really like get myself into it without getting injured. And I didn't really have to worry so much about like water, electrolytes, carbs. Like I didn't know about any of that stuff back then. And then finally one day, like I was able to get like half marathon there, and I believe the time was like a 2:06 or something like that. And I was like, yeah, there's something to this. Like I really like this. And so fast forwarding, finished that internship, and then come back home, and I was still running consistent, like maybe like 2-3 days a week. Like I was finishing up my master's degree, so just kind of running again for like performance, like in school kind of thing. And then once I graduated and started full time at my at engineering firm, then at that point like I had more time in my hands, and so now I was like, okay, like I want to like get into this like endurance stuff. And so that's 2023. And so in 2023 I started training. I did the Publix half marathon, the Publix Melbourne half marathon. That was freaking awesome. Got a time of like a 2:04:36, and that was just a great experience. No cramps, nothing went wrong. I just ran purely based off of feel, got it, and it was awesome. And then after that, I knew I wanted to do a marathon because I felt like that was a scary goal. And so for like a year after that was like training, and by December of 2024 I did my first marathon, the Jacksonville Marathon. And yeah, and after that, like just kept training, went through the summer, and then most recently I just did the Tallahassee Marathon where I PR by 28 minutes. So I got a 4:04:01. And yeah, so that's kind of like my journey up till now. But the reason why I'm even bringing this up in the video, like point being, is like everybody's got to start somewhere. Like I started out, I couldn't even do a quarter mile. I was like severely overweight, like for my age and height at the time, like way back in like, I want to say that was like 2010 or something. And we're in 2026 now, so 16-year journey. Everybody's got to start somewhere. And kind of like the point, like the purpose of this channel is to show like, okay, like yes, like everybody's got to start somewhere. It's going to be absolutely terrible. It's gonna suck. You're not gonna want to do it again. But when you rewire your brain and you train yourself to be like yes, it's like, you know, like consciously like it's optional, but in your mind, like when you do not allow yourself to make it optional and you stay really consistent, you can achieve like basically anything you set your mind to. And that's kind of the point of this channel. it's not just about running. Like, of course, I named the channel Alex Runs because that's my really big hobby I'm in love with right now. But I do have future plans to like get into other things and make series based off of that. But I think like, I don't know, running has given me so much and so much passion and happiness in life, and I kind of want to like share that with everybody else. And I just want to show everybody that like, hey, like if you're consistent, even when you don't want to do it, even when you have like every excuse and like obligation not to do something, you still do it. Like I think that is what makes life like so freaking awesome and amazing. And getting to the finish line and like turning around and looking at like all of the work you stacked consistently over time and how many times you did not quit even though you wanted to, like I think that is one of the best feelings in the world. And I think I want to show people that. And so you can look forward to that in this channel. I'm going to apply the same principles I do with the running, the consistency of the running that I've been doing for the past 2 years to this channel, to upload videos and to hopefully like inspire you guys to do the same. Like whatever it is. It doesn't have to be running. It could literally be like learning a new language, learning to play the guitar, like if you're into cycling, that like it could literally be anything. But yeah, okay, anyway, I've been rambling for way too long at this point. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this first video. There's definitely be more to come from me. Right now, I don't have any like future races planned or anything. I just finished that second marathon, like I was saying. Didn't get sub 4, so there's definitely going to be a series like sub 4 journey, because I'm definitely coming back to get that sub 4. And honestly, I don't even want to get sub 4. I want to like absolutely destroy, like get like a 3:45 or a 3:30 or something. So you look forward to that. But I think in between, like in this summertime, especially here in Florida, like I'm going to be doing short distance races too to try to increase VO2 max, increase my speed and everything. So you can look forward to like videos on that as well. But yeah. Anyways, I've been rambling way too long, so I'll let y'all go. But thanks for tuning in to Alex Runs episode 1. And yeah, see y'all next week.